What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. And this is episode 19, I think. It's the third race in season 2. I'm trying to rush through this so I can get this done before F1 22 releases. I think June the 28th is when I get it, because I did pre-order it. So I'm going to try and get through this series, do it as quick as possible, and hopefully we can get through 3 seasons, and maybe in that 3rd season we are fighting more to the front of the pack and maybe even push for a Drivers' World Championship. But anyway, so far this season, after 2 races, 0 points for Haas, 0 points for us. Not been a good start at all, and we're going to see if we can kick on and do a little better here in Portugal. It's a bit of a bank collapse here we're at. It might honestly be at the very back of the grid, but as we come across the line, it is going to be 117.5. We are just ahead of our teammate. A break a little later than usual. And I think we've gained quite a bit of time this lap. So we come around this final corner, and we've gone really, really wide, and that might have cost us a Q2 appearance right there. It definitely has, but can we jump up the grid a little bit? We are 3.5 attempts on our time. That last couple of corners really screwed us over, and we actually stay P19 ahead of our teammate. So here we are in Portugal, and I actually forgot to take the grid penalty. So we've got the same engines that we had last race, or the first 2 races. So we didn't take engine penalties today, and we actually have a McLaren in P18 by the looks of it. Is he in P18? Yes, he is in P18. So we missed out on moving up in the grid ahead. You can see what tyre everybody else is on. Everybody else is on the soft tyre. Schumacher and George Russell are on the hards. We're on the mediums. Maybe we start on the mediums with them, and almost, because we'll be probably around their pace. So if we start on the hards and then switch to the mediums. All right, here we have it. 4, 5 red lights here in Portugal, and away we go. And on the hard tyres, it's actually a decent start, but we're struggling for grip. We just can't get the right grip off the start. Our teammate's already going down the inside. Daniel Ricciardo gets ahead of us around the outside, and we're stuck down here in P19 and P20. Not the best start for Haas. And now we're actually in dead last as Mazepin makes a move down the inside of Schumacher. And us 3 on the hard compound tyres are struggling, but we get that little switchback move on Mick Schumacher, and we're going to go down the inside. We're going to try and go down the inside of a couple of cars. We get down the inside of George Russell, and now we are the lead driver of the drivers on the hard tyre. And our teammate actually gets past George Russell as well. And if he's showing pace, we're not going to hold him up too much, because we want to see maybe if Mazepin can do something and fight a little bit in this race. The guys on the soft tyres, they're going to fly ahead. I was kind of hoping maybe Russell and Schumacher could hold up a few cars, but they dropped down to 19th and 20th. I'm not sure. As we're going down the main straight, Mazepin, DRS open now. Is he going to look to have a go at us? We use no ERS. We're confident that we'd stay ahead. He's going to go down the inside. And now we've got to leave him room. We don't want to make contact with our teammate. That's the last thing we need. And he's got the inside on us. And a bit of wheel-to-wheel battling for the first time between teammates. We get the switchback, and now we're around the outside. He's almost forced us off to the track. But we got DRS. It's beautiful racing between the pair of us. And we've got him back down this straight as he's still holding the inside line. We're giving him as much room as possible, and we stay ahead of our teammate. Yes, that lost us quite a bit of time, but what fantastic racing that was. And that was actually pretty fun to race. So the more laps that go by, the more confident and more understanding of the track we're getting. You can see there another personal best. So these are not bad lap times on the hard tyres at all with the car that we have. Because as long as he's ahead of them, then when he makes his pit stop, hopefully he'll still be ahead of them for the next stint and can hold them up just that little bit for me. So here's the first pit stops for the people on the soft tyres. There's a Ferrari coming out of the pits right now, praying that he gets out ahead of me, and he does, with some room to spare. So that was Leclerc. I'm not sure what place he was in, but if he's getting comfortably out ahead of me, that shows our pace isn't the greatest. I'd rather be in the softs than the mediums, as more people are making their pit stops, and it looks like a lot of them are going to come out ahead of us. It's going to be tight between us and the McLaren, and we're actually going to get ahead of the McLaren. Just have to leave a bit of room in the apex just in case he's sticking a nose in. But we are ahead of the cars that made the pit stop. Do we frustrate them? I mean, the McLaren is going to get past us very easily, but the cars behind we might be able to frustrate just a little bit. We are going to defend against the McLaren, see what we can do. Got to be careful. We did put it on simulation damage now, so any minor contact is going to be troublesome for us, because we do not want wing damage. That will affect us all race, and when we take a pit stop that needs replacing the wing, it's basically means no points. As we come down the main straight, we might get ahead of the Aston Martin. It'll be pretty tight in the exit. You can see almost half a second quicker than our fastest time. It's going to be tight between us and Sebastian Vettel. We're going to try and go around the outside, and what a move that is. We get him just after the pit exit. He's on brand new hard tyres, so he went from the mediums to the hards, and will be going till the end of the race. It was, I think it was softs to hards, but he'll be going till the end of the race. So it is important that we hold him up, just in case we'll be able to find that speed on the soft tyres to catch him up. Who knows, maybe a safety car comes out and that will really help us, especially as we go into the softs. But we'll see what happens. Points could be a possibility. I think it might be a bit of a stretch, but he got away with it. And now Vettel, you can't have a go down there, not in that fast left-hander, mate. There's no room, and he had to back out. He lost quite a bit of time by doing that. We've got a nice little train of cars behind us. As I say that, we go flying off. Oh no. This is really bad. We're mowing some grass over here. We've cut the whole track. I mean, it was, where else do we go? Our tyres are ruined from it. And we've come out just behind Pierre Gasly, so we actually didn't lose too much time there, as we cut half the circuit pretty much. Tyres didn't heat up too much, but we're going to get back past Pierre Gasly, and we actually got really lucky with how we get back on the track. Yes, we lost 2 positions that we could have probably held, but we originally lost 3 and we got 1 back to Pierre Gasly, who's on soft tyres, so we want to try and hold him up as much as possible, and that could have been our race over if we were not careful. I was too busy looking in my rear view mirror, and we clipped that inside curb that spun us around. But what a save! What a save that was. And to get back on the track right when they were coming around, it felt like I cheated a little bit, but there was no real place else I could go. It was Gasly is going to go down the outside, which turns into the inside. We're going to have to let him go. There's no way we could get that, as we go for a little switchback, see if we can get some speed coming down the hill. But we're not going to get enough to get him just yet, as we lock up our tyres. And yeah, we're making mistakes left, right and centre. And now we see a full train of cars behind us, as he is very close to us. So he was through the middle sector as Lando Norris comes in the pit, and I think a bunch of these cars will be coming out ahead. And now George Russell pits, so I think George Russell, he might be on the mediums. I think it might be a bit too early to pit onto the softs, so we'll have to see. He'll probably end up getting the undercut on us unless we put in some 2 really strong laps. Bottom left, they're coming round the last corner now, so the McLaren is going to get ahead of us. It's going to be close between, I think it's Fernando Alonso and George Russell. I think they've just got us, and yes they have. They've both got us as they're going side by side into turn 1, slowing each other down. Kind of hoping George Russell stays ahead, because we want the slower car ahead. We don't want Fernando Alonso to get away too quick. They're on the medium compound tyres. We've gone for the softs, which is pretty brave of us, as they're still going side by side. George Russell, I think, had the DRS, so he's managed to get ahead. And they are fighting each other like there's no tomorrow. And that's going to allow us to come up on the back of them. In, and there we go. Round the last corner. It's going to be interesting. Can we get George Russell, who's not going to have DRS? Can we maybe get Fernando Alonso as well? We've got a lot of straight line speed. As we're coming up on George Russell, we're going to make a move down the inside. We won't be able to get Fernando Alonso, but we do get George Russell. So at least we get one of them. And we're up at a P18. And now we're going to push on. Maybe have Fernando Alonso almost drag us along, because I think he might have a little bit more speed than us, just because of the car. And these softs should allow us to be able to stay with him And Mick Schumacher is the next target up ahead, who did pit a lot earlier and got the undercut on all three of us actually. So we're pushing, and it's this first sector where we seem to be a little faster than Fernando Alonso as he locks up coming out of turn 1. And we smell a bit of blood here. We're going to have a go at Fernando Alonso. What are we going to do? We're going to try and go around the outside. Oh, we've missed our braking zone by a long way. I actually managed to keep it on the track. And hold on a second, we've gone for an unusual switchback move. I don't know how we've managed that. From missing our braking point to turning it into a sensational move on Fernando Alonso. I do not know how that's happened. But wow, we've got it done. And we're up into P. Oh, as Alonso goes down the inside there, we're forced to go wide because of it. But we're up in a P17 now. Thank God we didn't make contact. So that would have ruined the whole move that we just did. But we're 2 seconds behind Mick Schumacher. We're going to see if we can get P16 in this Grand Prix. Of us getting Schumacher down into turn 1. But look at the speed we have coming out of these corners. With the ERS fully on. Now we've got the DRS on. We're going to have a go at him down into turn 1. Nicholas Latifi, yellow flag. That could have been a safety car. We would have loved that to be a safety car. But now we are past Mick Schumacher on the track. And we're up in a P15 now because we've got past Nicholas Latifi as well. And we will bring the car home in P14 after 2 late DNFs. Which I was hoping for a safety car, but that wasn't to happen. Coming home in P14, probably the best we could have done. But there we go, the car just isn't fast enough. So there you have it, you have Valtteri Bottas taking the win in the end. Charles Leclerc actually came home with fastest lap. We have fastest third sector for a little bit, so I'm taking that. But we only managed P14, our teammate down in P18, finishing last on track again. I mean, we have a faster car than Williams on paper, so it's very close. I don't know why Mazepin is so far behind everybody every time. You know, it's like, at least be up there fighting close to me. But he's always about 20-30 seconds behind. It's starting to get a little bit frustrating. Nowhere near points today. Hoping for a late safety car, but that did not happen. Bottas leads the championship with Hamilton just behind. And Vettel is somehow up there as well. I don't know how he's doing that in an Aston Martin. But yeah, Sebastian Vettel right now for you. Mercedes dominating as usual. We have 0 points. Like Mazepin, Williams and AlphaTauri also down with 0 points. So maybe we could fight AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo and maybe get P7 this year. But we need to really upgrade that car. If you guys are enjoying this series, I'm going to flood a lot of these episodes out in the next couple weeks before the new game comes out. Go ahead, hit the like, and let me know if you're excited for the new game. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.